they have not earned. Talking about the principle of frugality, which is how you make money work for you. You live within your means. Poor people don't know how to live within their means because they are convinced that their means can never satisfy them. However, it's a matter of perspective. That's why the poor man will be complaining about Gary and granite with a little bit of sugar and cold water. But the rich man will be drinking it every day as a delicacy. It's in the mind. That's why the poor man will complain that during the afternoon, because it's during 101. You know 101? Yeah. When you skip lunch because you can't afford to eat 3 times, he will complain that he's eating roasted corn for lunch. That, can't we change it? Meanwhile, some rich men are opening window to smell roasted corn when they are driving past because it's something they don't seem to get so often. It's in the mind. It's the same meal. It's your perspective. If you are grateful for it, you will have it and you'll be fine. But if you think that it is a conditioning because of your pockets that is making you eat something, what will happen is you begin to desire the things you do not need. As a matter of fact, those things cause diseases. You want to be eating chicken and chips that they have told you not to eat. You want to eat bread and rice that they say has too many calories that will clog your heart. It's poverty that makes you chase after things because you have associated them with a status. Savings will help you create order and direction. Because when you know what you are chasing and you know why you are chasing it, automatically some things just become things you are not looking for. One of those things for me is party makeup. You know, a lot of women go and do makeup when they are going for parties. The last time I heard, maybe some 5 years ago, it was 5,000 naira. Somebody asked me for 15 in August last year. And I was wondering, I'm not the bride. I'm not the bride's mother. Why am I doing 15,000 naira makeup for somebody else's party? But you see, many of us do it for every party. Why? Because we have misplaced priorities. We don't know what we are looking for. Prosperity is not about how much you earn. It's about how much you can keep. So we say saving is a science because it's a body of knowledge. For those of us who were science students, we remember Boyle's law, right? We don't remember Newton's laws of motion. Exactly, that's what science is about. We know that if we test it this way, we have run experiments, we have come up with hypotheses. We have done the experiments and we have confirmed that that principle is true. And that is why, because it's a science, we will have 30 laws of money. If you follow that science, if you learn the laws, it will work for you. The same way if you jump up, you will come down. It's the same way if you save and you earn interest of 15% on it. In 7 years, your interest will pass your savings, no matter how much you save. It's a law. It's the same way that Parkinson's law will also work for you. As more money is coming in, more needs will come up. However, discipline is what will make you remember that your savings is priority and then not follow the trends of the things that will be calling for your money. But what happens in science, if you do not know that something will remain at rest or in equal uniform motion unless acted upon by an external force, you will not understand the laws you are obeying unconsciously. And that's why I say there's a book called 30 Laws of Money. It tells you how money responds to you and how you respond to money. It's a good thing to know. Because automatically you can follow those principles and matriculate yourself from poverty into prosperity. He has principles you can learn. Frugality and prudence. I said I will mention our mentor's story. There were a few things he said that day that made a difference to me. When he was doing his housemanship, he had decided he wanted to buy a car. I'm still going to create a nexus in that story in a further slide. But I want to talking about frugality and prudence. He mentioned that at that time, housemanship is what you do before you go and serve. Just in case you are not familiar with medical training. He wanted to buy a car at the end. And so what did he do? He decided how much he was going to set aside. Now, to be able to get that amount, he needed to take some decisions about his lifestyle. Some of us don't drink Coke for 2 days, you'll be feeling like you have malaria. Well, Coke was not even, all those things were not an option for him. He didn't even understand. All these problems you have, he did not have it. Because where it was coming from, it was not a problem. But he said some things. He said he would walk from where he stays to where he's going every day. And he did it for about a year. You know, many of us are struggling with obesity because we do not even understand that the natural choices save us money and give us good health. You know, so I started thinking, what will make somebody decide to walk every day? Is how much he believed in what he was looking after. He had seen poverty, and he knew that that was not the life he chose. Many of us are complacent because we have not seen poverty, the real sense, because we have people that are helping us. You need to decide for yourself that you are going to be the different one, that you are going to be the one that is going to give your children an opportunity to be big. Aside from that, his food changed. All these things that you people like, abodi, bokoto, you know, all those point and key, he eliminated it from his diet. Many of us will wait to see a doctor that will tell us to delete some things before we deleted them, or rather, before we delete them. So he made conscious decisions about rigorous exercise, such that is when he gets to work that he will take a shower because he has sweated to work. Now, we know people that go to gym before going to work because they have money, but they are opting to go to gym. He created it as a lifestyle. He's still working till today by choice. But to have that choice, you need to learn that discipline. What lifestyle changes are you embracing now? Now, many of us will embrace that lifestyle change and then go and blow the money. That is not the purpose. The purpose of discipline is the goal you have set. So adjust the lifestyle because of what you want to get. And I am talking about your lifestyle. There is always something you can cut out that will make you more frugal, that will make you more prudent. There is always something you do not really need as much as you think you do. Discipline and creating a logical link between where you are and where you want to go is how you'll be able to make it there. Now, saving is an art because the more you do, the better you become at doing it. If you have saved towards a goal before, I'm not even saying this habit of never touching it. If you have ever saved and you were able to do what you wanted to do, you will discover that you have one power: the ability to hold your future in your hands and determine for yourself where you want to go. For some of us, the starting point will be a job with your colleagues, the ones they deduct without your saying so. And then at the end of 12 months, they give you, and you can point to a project you were able to do with it. And then automatically you try harder next year. You increase the amount. Or you look for one with more people. The minute you are able to discipline yourself, and you can point to what you were able to achieve with it, it inspires you to do more. It's the same thing with art. Those in the performing arts, the more they do, the better they become at it, the higher they are paid from it. That's why we say saving is an art, because you form the habit of saving by saving. By the way, you also form the habit of unsaving by unsaving. So the fact that you are saving does not mean that you have already matriculated. It means that at least you have the basic habit. Then you now need to learn how not to unsave. Because if when you save, you unsave, where are you back to? Zero. And so you are not among the people that are using saving to graduate from poverty to prosperity. You are among the people that have learned the way, but they still like going back round in circles. Because you would have triggered a cycle, and then you will not be able to get off at a tangent because you did not keep what you earned or what you saved. Savings becomes a lifestyle. The more you save, the more you know to save. But if you unsave, that lifestyle is not going to pay the benefits it should pay. So what does savings do for you? It generates interest, and you are able to compound your money if you don't touch it. Only if you don't touch it. If we say that your interest will overtake your capital in 7 years, Imagine what would happen if you don't touch it in 10 years. From the story of Tolu Medical Center, which is the first hospital Dr. Abibola Mitoye started, we heard that after 7 years, he was able to save, by saving 25% of his monthly income, he was able to save 35 million naira, and we are talking about 1994. Many of us do not, money has become like water. And so when you're talking to children and you ask them, ask a 7-year-old, what will you do with 1 million naira? He will hiss first before telling you 1 million. That's how children see 1 million. So when I said 35 million in 1994, you did not understand. Let me help you understand. You know what they call authorized share capital of banks? For you to be able to start a bank, the people starting the bank must pay in cash. The authorized share capital for commercial banks in 1994 was 50 million. So he had how much? About 70% of the money he could use to start a bank. Some of you that have worked for 7 years after you said, I hope you are locating yourself. In 7 years, he had enough money to start. Merchant banks, the authorized share capital in 1994 was 20 million. So he had enough money to start a bank by himself without needing help from anybody. If you are still struggling to understand, the authorized share capital for banks today is 500 billion. So do you understand the weight of 35 million in here? So now think about your biggest dream. Which big dream do you have that you cannot fund with 500 billion? What is it you are looking for in life that 500 billion cannot give you? Now that is the equivalent. That's what you can do in the banking industry with the money he had then, now. So do you understand a bit better? Because I see that million doesn't even have meaning to us again. But we are not, the money he had then, today, is billions. And it's not billions, it's hundreds of billions. It's equivalent to 500 billion. I had to do that research so that I can help you understand that that money is not small money. 7 years, just saving 25%. That just shows you that where discipline can take you, luck cannot. Have you seen somebody that made the lottery and in 2 years looked like he won the lottery? As a matter of fact, in 6 months, do they look like they won lottery? Money that happens to you will disappear. But if you plan where you want to go and you stay true to what you want to do, you will be able to pull through. And the only thing that might change is your timeline. The goal will keep moving towards you as you are moving towards it. The worst that will happen is maybe you had a few months or a year or two. But that goal will keep rushing towards you as long as you are disciplined enough to rush towards it. And that is how not touching it was what made it happen. Because if every time he kept removing a portion, the compound interest that makes your interest overtake your capital in 7 years would not have applied. Because it would never have triggered the magic. So how does that? He immunizes you against poverty. When he told that story, he said banks were approaching him because of his balance to ask him to give them money. I did not understand until I did this maths and understood the implication of that money today. If I have 500 billion, I will tell them I will give them, but they will make me the chairman of the bank. No, because if I have enough money to start a bank, why should I give you my money? So I will give you my terms. It's insulation against poverty. You call the shots. There are people who have never seen banking hall before. The bankers go and meet them in their bedroom. Same thing with all these queues you people queue for visa. It's the country that is begging them to come. Just come and spend a fraction of your money here. It is like you're taking vaccination. When you take vaccination, they say that disease cannot catch you again. Save, leave it, let it grow, let compound interest work. And then suddenly you realize there are some things that people fear that you don't fear. Like inflation rate. Many people say that the interest rates in the savings accounts is less than inflation rate. Use the magic of compound interest. You will understand that compound interest and inflation, they are not mates. Because compound interest will take you further than inflation can draw you back. But we don't even save enough for long enough to trigger the magic of compound interest. Another thing is it grants you relief. You know, many people want to travel and they are afraid of taking their car. What if I have a flat tire? What if the tire spoils? And you know that tire now, if you say tire, that's what they used to have. People cannot, you are anxious until you get where you are going because nothing must go wrong with this car. You know that if you need to replace a tire or buy a new battery, you will think about it. It's because you did not insulate yourself against it. If you have money saved for emergencies, the way you face life is different. You are just relaxed. That's when you be hearing proverbs like, there's nothing that wants to happen that we cannot cope with. It's because you know you have something to take care of it. You can plan without fear. Of course, it provides ultimate freedom. You decide where you want to work. You decide when you want to work. You even decide if you want to work at all. Why? Because you have money that is the grandchildren of your money that you are spending. The money is giving birth. The children the money is giving birth to is giving birth to money that is enough to meet your needs. And so really, work becomes a hobby. It becomes something you like to do. It's when you feel like that you do it. Not that if you don't do it, you will not have the next meal. So it grants you ultimate freedom. You can go wherever you want. You can plan the kind of life you're living. You can give them the comfort that they are looking for. So savings will build your courage. You will not be fearful. It will build your confidence because you will sit down. You know, there are sometimes that some people are talking about some things beside you and you just get up like, you just get up that these people are not my mates, let me be going. But you have confidence to sit with anybody because you know that when push comes to shove, you will pull your weight, they will pull their own. So it gives you confidence. You can enter, you know, there are some tables they give you sitters and you get up and say, no, I'm a small boy, let me stay outside. You will sit down and you will listen. Because when they are pulling their resources, you can pull your own. It makes you self-reliant. You know, there are people that you need to beg, and worst case scenario, you spend a little bit more money. But because you don't have that money to spend, you will beg, you will scream. Your grandchild's mates, you will prostrate for them. Because you don't have money to do what you want to do. That's how it grants you the power of self-reliance. You know that by yourself, you can take care of yourself. It also helps you think clearly. You know those thoughts that fly around your head as if flies are buzzing? You don't know them. Rent is due in 2 months. Rent is due in 2 months. Rent is due in 2 months. When your car has a fault, that sound that the car is making, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Those flies that buzz around your head, they will not be there because you know what to do. Money answers to you. And so you will not be worried. But if you did not save, if you did not accumulate the money, how are you going to get there? Of course, it builds your character. You don't have to lie about anything. When your debtor is coming, you don't have to say you are in Lagos. You will say you are in your house. Anybody that you are not owing anybody, so they are not looking for you anywhere. You are able to stay true. You are able to tell the truth all the time. You are able to arrange your life because you will be able to calculate, okay, when the dividends from the stock come in, we'll use them to do this one. No, it's the interest on the mutual funds that we'll use to build that house. No, it's the treasury bill that will be good for the car that you have in mind. You can arrange and keep some type of order. But when you don't have enough, the bills will be meeting themselves on the road. They'll be dragging themselves. Which one will we pay first? You are able to order your priority when you are able to put something aside. Of course, it will build greatness and eminence. That's what I mean when I was saying, when you enter a room of people, you will not be intimidated because you hold your own and they hold their own. And of course, it attracts opportunities and prosperity. You will be too busy to see the opportunities if you are counting pennies. If you are too worried about the bills that are coming, they are not yet here, but they are coming and you are worried, your eyes will not be trained to see the opportunities that are standing in your way. I already referred to savers. The reason we do visualization is so that during the course of our day, we will see the things that will take us where we want to go. However, if you do not have savings and you don't have clear thinking, What you will continue to see are the things that can give you roadblocks on the way to where you want to go. And so you will not be able to even attract the kind of opportunities that will give you the kind of life you want. And these opportunities are the ones that can drive you faster towards your goals. So I've already shared this story of how our mentor started with practically nothing. That housemanship, the first day, first month, let's open the balance with 0. But he had one thing. That is why I'm asking you to buy these books. Before that point when he started earning, he had studied how to manage money. I wish we all would ensure that before anybody can exchange their skill for money or their time for money, they would know how to handle that money when it comes. Even as adults, what makes us fruitful in managing money is if we are able to plan for that money before it enters. If you have written down where you want to send your money on an errand before you get that money, you are more effective than the person that money happens to. And that's why the person that wins the lottery didn't work for it, didn't have any plans, just suddenly came into wealth. He soon parted with his money like a fool. However, if you sit down and you plan, before money comes, you know what you want to achieve with it. It's better and easier for you. So he had a plan even before the money came. He had learned how to manage it. He had read Think and Grow Rich at least 72 times before that time. Some of us will read a book once, and the next time they offer it to you, you say, I've read it. I know what's inside. Don't worry, I've mastered it. You don't really master anything until you can reproduce it. And any book you have read that you don't have action points that you have translated into your life, that you cannot show results from reading, you have not read. So you continue to read it until you see the results. So keep reading the same material until you get maximum results, until you are able to bring out of it what he promised. In his housemanship here, he bought that car. Of course, after buying the car, he realized he had a bigger dream. But he bought that car. And then in his service year, he decided that, okay, this service year, I will use it to accumulate money to start my hospital. I've already told you he started that hospital 3 days after that service year. The confidence to try again and hit your goal came from the first one he did. And that's why we keep saying start small. When you conquer the small demons, you'll be able to take on the bigger ones. But if you have never conquered anything and you want to start from the top, that's why it's easy to fall. Conquer the little goals first. Start the savings on a weekly basis. Then do it on a monthly basis, or a daily, weekly, monthly. Build your capacity over time. And then you'll find out that there's nothing that you will not be able to break down into small goals and achieve. Of course, consistent action. He saved the income from the first week of every month when he started his hospital. Many of us embrace a lifestyle of excuses. It's when that money should be saved that we will tell ourselves that, the children have just resumed, they need to buy. Has any child died from not having flask for 1 week? You know children that don't have flask, that is taken away from item 7 that they used to take food to school. They are not less intelligent than the ones that have flask. So why must we give ourselves excuses not to prosper? Meanwhile, this prosperity will not only make you, it will give them a better life. Delaying gratification is our greatest challenge. I would rather not eat it today if I know that 2 years down the line, I'll be distributing it. But many of us to eat today what should provide for us a meal tomorrow, or rather, provide for the entire community a meal tomorrow. This even brings to mind the analogy of the chicken and the egg. One egg has the capacity to give us as many as 1,000 chickens if we don't fry it. Because the minute you fry it, the chicken that will give birth to other chickens has gone. And so you must remember, every time money comes into your hand, pause and understand. This money has the capacity to deliver to me the future I desire. How will I treat it? The way you treat it is what determines whether more will come or not. So every time you receive money, sit with it, look at it. What portion of this money am I going to use to provide the future I desire? So he saved it every month. 1 week of every, there are 4 weeks in every month, plus or minus. 1 week of every month. He saved 7 years he didn't touch. And then he was able to do what? Start to build another one. When he started Ibadan Central Hospital, this time he had a hospital with 20 beds. When he saved for 10 years, he was able to build a bigger hospital with 85 beds. He has tested the principle with 7 years. It worked. So he keeps pushing the limits. You get, as an art, you do by doing, and you keep getting better at it. However, we look at him today. Many of us, instead of learning from that story, we would rather come cap in hand. Sir, actually, as I was coming here, sir, what can you help me with? He provides you this knowledge for free. Please let's make ample use of the opportunity we have to receive a formula that will always work. And then, of course, I mentioned the discipline. Now, that 7 years, don't think that because he now had a car and he was driving a car, he was not disciplined though. We had asked him before in a closed door meeting, for those who don't like closed door meetings, that 7 years, was it easy? He said, no, it's not that because he had learned contentment early. In the season of yam, he will eat yam because yam is cheap and plenty. And then when that one is going, corn will come. I'm sure he's wondering how come I know a story like this. I've listened to it so many times. Corn will come. It will be in season. It will be cheap. So you can discipline your appetite. You can discipline your appetite. Your body will do what you tell you to do. All that craving, when you're not pregnant, talk to your craving. Promise yourself at a future date. And then reward yourself when that date comes. But don't consume everything you have on appetites that will not get you anywhere. And of course, he was able to expand. So the small savings, a little bit of time, and consistent discipline. So any discipline you have this year that you lose in September, you are not disciplined. Because if you cannot watch over your goal till the end, you have wasted your effort. So keep it consistent, and then you'll be able to build great wealth. The principle of building great wealth from your saving is that you do not go to kill your saving by removing it. You might think it's an emergency. It's not an emergency. The person that is not you that needs help will get help with or without you. So don't kill your future because you are trying to save somebody that at the end of the day might either not be saved or might have been saved by somebody else. So don't unsave. If you save to unsave, it's as good as not saving at all. So you must treat your savings as sacred. Like he always asks, can you go back to church and say you want to collect your tithe? Can you calculate your tithe for 2025 and say, Pastor, please, my child is sick. Please give me like 20% of the tithe I paid last year. We need to pay hospital bills. If you can't do that, then dissociate your mind from your savings. Many of us need to put money in an account that does not have app, that does not have ATM card, so that you can forget it is there. Every time you have a need, you must not always, the first thing that will come to your mind is that there's money sitting somewhere. Forget that the money is there. As a matter of fact, when you earn, never calculate based on 100. Calculate based on the portion that is left after you have saved. That way, you keep your budget within your means. And then the portion that you did not earn, can you spend it? No. So leave it where it is. That's the only way it can grow. So the practical steps: save first, spend what remains. That's the principle in love yourself. Pay yourself first. So the first thing you do when you have money is save it. I think 2 months ago, I was talking about teaching my children that the money you earn, the one you are expecting, if you are saving 10%, the one you are not expecting, the minimum you should save is 20%. Because you were not expecting it. It's not in your budget. You will not die. So save it. Because it will save you. Those little miracles. Somebody gave you a lift and you are able to save your transport fare. Don't save your transport fare in your pocket and then get out from the car and buy fine yogo. Save it. Actually save it. it has the capacity to deliver it to you financial freedom. So immediately, if you can, talk to your banker, do direct debits, let them remove it before you see it. And then when they have removed it, you too don't go and be checking. You know, any egg that you're checking, has it hatched today? As you know, you will eat it. Don't hover over it. Leave it. Of course, spend only what is remaining. Now, what is remaining must be budgeted. So the same way you have said, this is what I'm saving. If you have projects to be done, deduct before you start spending. And that's why rent will meet some people suddenly. Rent that you knew that you were going to pay 12 months. That's why somebody's wife will be pregnant and then they are in the delivery room and you're running around looking for, she was pregnant for 9 months. So in that time before your project comes, have a place where you are keeping money for these things. Otherwise, the one you are saving for your future, you will go and touch it. So part of being disciplined is knowing what you can spend. If you know for a fact that there's something that is coming that you cannot avoid, keep money for it. Then keep your own regular savings. And then you know how much you have to spend. If it is not enough, it's just an indication that you should enhance your earning capacity. Start thinking of how you can earn more. What can I add to what I do to earn more? And obey the law of income is in the book I recommended, Laws of Money. Of course, start small. When the money is plenty, you won't need so much of it, especially if you have embraced frugality. It does not mean that you will not give yourself expensive meals or take yourself out or go for a vacation. But if that vacation is once a year, you yourself can plan towards it. So start where you are. Start with what you have. If it is 10,000 naira you're earning now, there's nothing, it can't even take you to work. So don't worry. Just work 2 more days. Save that 10%. You can always save. There's something you can take off that will help you to save. Those who do not save are never safe. Because when life happens, you will not have a defense with which you can respond. I already mentioned this. Separate your savings. The money you spend, know where you put it. The money you are never going to touch, don't even see where you put it. And the one for your project, don't let it mature until you need it. That way, you will not be dipping your hand into your future every day, and then there will be no future left by the time you get there. Be consistent. The only way the magic of compound interest works is every month, or you save every day, or you save every week. It is the every that makes it happen. It takes longer to get there if when you do it today, based on your feelings, you don't do it tomorrow. Based on your perception of emergency, you don't do it day after. Based on several other things going on around you, you just keep skipping. If you keep skipping like that, you will not be consistent. If you are not consistent, you will not get to your goals faster. It's just a way to get where you are going faster. Do it consistently. Savers, we say do it every morning when you wake up. A successful day is a successful life. Or rather, a successful life is a series of successful days. So save consistently, and then naturally, at the end of the day, you get where you want to get to. It's not about the amount. It's about the consistency. Just keep doing it. Keep showing up. Keep saving it. And you will definitely get there. So quickly, and right now, what percentage do you save? What percentage do you want to save? Write it down. Just write it down. And write down where you will keep it. That account that does not have ATM, that does not have app. If you don't have, write it down that when you leave this place today, you go and open that account. But write down how much you want to save. And a good way to see how well a future it can give you is to do that calculation of how much it will become if you do it consistently over a period of time. These are just 3 laws that have to do with money that we have already spoken about. Money flows to where it is abundant. And that's why the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer unless they attend a 110 seminar, discover the laws of money, and decide that they are not going to be poor again and take decisive steps about it. and begin to behave like the rich so that they will not stay poor. So money calls his family members and says, it's like this place is conducive. And then those ones call their own cousins, and the cousins call their uncles. And then money is more. But the people that don't have, they're the ones that are foolish with money. And how does this fully manifest itself? Ponzi scheme. Get rich quick. CBEX. Because they believe they kuku don't have enough. Let's do CBEX. At least if I do CBEX in 3 months, I'll become a millionaire. What happens to those kind of people? Even the little they have, the MMM will carry it. So if you have small money, you know how you earn it. You add a little bit more. You use it to improve your knowledge of what you do. And then you earn a little bit more and you keep growing. Growing slowly is the best way to go. Growing organically. If you try to grow suddenly, you will lose that money suddenly. Of course, to have more money, you must first have money. If you go to a bank and you say you want to borrow money, even if it is for business, they would ask you for your equity contribution. For everything you want to do, a financial institution needs you to have at least 30% of what you're able to, of what you want to raise. So it tells you that no bank will give somebody that doesn't have money. Even the banks favor the rich. If you are not rich, you can't borrow. If you want me to help you, I will first ask you, what have you done for yourself? If you cannot do anything for yourself by yourself, it will be a waste of effort. Because even whatever we give you, you will treat it the way you have treated everything you have received before that time. And then for the churchgoers in our midst, we know the parable of the talents. Somebody buried his own, the others multiplied their own. And we have already mentioned that compound interest is a multiplier effect. If you can save and apply compound interest, what would happen? It will multiply. Now, at the end of the day, the person that borrowed his 1 talent, he was angry because some people had 10 and somebody had 5. And he said, why did they give them more and me less? You know that's the way poor people are angry with people that are rich. That they have more money, that's why they are proud. And so the little they have, they don't do anything meaningful with it. What is going to happen at the end of the day is that little they have, they will collect it from the person with 1 and give it to the person with 10. And that is exactly how the rich keep getting richer. Because the poor people are so foolish in handling money that their money migrates to where money is more. So what are the usual challenges? There's one I've spoken about a lot. Money is not enough. It will never be enough, so save. Another one is family pressure. Family will try to pressure you, but you are the one that will insulate yourself from pressure. They will bring Ashwebi. Ashwebi means it's for the family. Abi is not for the family. It's for the family. Your capacity for Ashwebi will be Ankara. They will say that event they want to wear lace. You are the one that will not look at their face. You will buy Ankara of that color and still come. You know, when they put, especially funerals in the Southwest, when they do funerals, I sometimes look at them and think to myself that person that died might not have died if they spend that money on the person. But they make such a fanfare for a 1-day event that nobody will remember 2 days down the line. Insulate yourself from practices that are not in line with your goal. Many times we lose sight of where we are going. And that's why it's important. You see, I keep going to savers. If you have written your goals again in the morning, when somebody brings something that is going to take you off the path of where you are going, what will you do? You will say, bye-bye, we are not going to the same place. You take your, whatever you can use to help them get where they are going, you will give them. But you keep your focus on your own priorities. If you need to take a break from your family, take a break from your family. When you come back rich and wealthy, they would appreciate you more. So that fight is temporary. The fight you will fight over your cousin is at home, has not gone to school, is temporary. Because when the child is doing masters, you will pay. But now that he's in primary school, you to take care of him. Let me acquire that strength first to be able to help. Borrowers and spenders. There are people that when they hear you have money, they will call you. There are people that I know that call me from the 20th to the 31st because they know I have salary. The minute you know people like that, just make sure that you too, you don't pick their call from the 20th to like the 15th. Because you know that they have believed that their success in life is tied to the money in your pocket. Meanwhile, your own success in your pocket. Are you going to love your neighbor more than yourself? You love yourself first. That's how you will learn how to love other people. So when you know people have those tendencies, avoid them. Another one, that's there are some people that when you say you don't want something, they are offered you something, they are trying to sell you something, you say you don't want, they said, spend this money. But you are working, you are making money, spending. Anybody that says spend this money to me, I'm not buying anything from you again. Because now I understand you are a weapon fashioned against me. So avoid them. From the way they talk, you will know them. That spend this money is a trigger for me. Spend this money, is you the sense. Tell my village people you did not miss me at home. Lifestyle inflation. That one is internal, not external. You yourself begin to tell yourself, but I have worked for, I should be able to. Don't be in a hurry. You will be able to even do more. So why not wait till when your strength is enough and you don't have to use calculator to calculate it to be able to do it. There's a time when what you want to do will come with ease. Gather your strength, conserve your energy until that time. Don't mature too early. Don't count your chicks before they are hatched. I'm not even saying counting it before others, for yourself. Don't look at your money and feel comfortable and then think you don't need to grow it more. And do you have that 500 billion yet? If you don't have it yet, work harder. Because your mentor did not touch it until he hit 500 billion. And when he touched it to invest in something that will give birth to another 500 billion. So he's not even touching it to consume it. You are not a consumer. You are an investor. You are a builder of destiny, not just yours, but the children you are bringing into the world. So focus on this goal you have given yourself. Another thing is vices. Can somebody please tell me how much is gold bag? How much is gold bag? 2,500. Okay. One gold bag per day. I'm not, some people drink a carton at a sitting. One gold bag per day in a month is how much? 25 times 30. That's 75,000. In a year is how much? 900. It's 900,000. In 7 years, that's 7 years we're talking about. Is how much? You see that one bottle of beer a day is already fighting your future. That's if you do not now acquire liver cirrhosis. You know, liver cirrhosis will take more than that. How much did we say? It will take more than the money that you used to buy the beer. That is because we said beer. How much is Coke? 500. Use the same calculation. We are going far. And these are all things that do not add to you. They just give you one feeling, and that feeling has never lasted for more than 1 hour. So you see, if it is not good for you, it is not good for you. Don't indulge in it at all. It will cost you your health. It will cost you your money. It will cost you your future. Because that money is what you should be using to build your future. Another one is bad association. If you don't want to drink beer, but you're hanging out in beer parlor, I don't understand. What's the difference? Because one day, you will say they have been buying, let me buy. You will buy for them, so it will take the money away from you. You said that you don't do makeup for other people's parties, like I have said, but all your friends are doing. One day when you are going together, you will spoil their picture. You will do. So select your friends carefully. Make sure there are people that are going where you are going. Make sure there are people that their values are aligned with yours. Otherwise, the money you are keeping, they are the ones that will help you spend it. They will not come into your pocket, or they won't even collect it from you, but they will teach you things that will make your money fly in the opposite direction. Like I've said in relation to family, you cannot help poor people by becoming poor. So if you use your budget to determine how much you save and how much you spend, then you don't have anything to fear, because you know how much you have to spend. If it has finished, what has happened? It has finished. There are times when somebody will come and say they need help. If you had come 2 days ago, I had not yet started spending my charity budget. But you see, my charity has budget. How many of us wrote down during our last month's seminar the list of people you want to support every month? Uh-huh. See, that list already has defined for you what charity is. You have decided that you will help people with your money. Stick to that list. Maybe you set apart something for somebody might need help. But once it is exhausted, you do not use your livelihood to save people. You can't kill your wait. When that budget, that space is available, I will call you. I will let you know. And if it is not available, understand your primary responsibility is to yourself. Don't kill yourself trying to save others. If you cannot swim and you want to help somebody that is drowning, what will happen? Everybody will drown together. If you cannot, you are outside the well, you are not standing well, you are pulling somebody from inside the well, what will happen? The two of you will end up inside the well until somebody that has the strength to carry both people. The person now needs strength for two, not one, to bring you out. So please, acquire strength before you start carrying people. There are many people who will never make it in life because they started sending their siblings to school before they had enough money. And so the business opportunities they see, they cannot take advantage of because they are sending people to school. Go and acquire strength first, and then you can make up for lost years. So save yourself first. The analogy is that on a plane. You know when the air hostess is directing you about to use a face mask, they always tell you, you wear it for yourself first. Even if the next person is your child or your mother, you first of all save yourself before you save anybody else. It is important for strength to precede charity. If you don't have the strength to lift others and you lift them, all of you will fall down face first. So we talk about this all the time. You can save. We dedicated a seminar to how you can save, to money markets, to mutual funds, whatever it is, save. Even your savings account, 6% is better than 0%. It's better than under your pillow. But if your piggy bank is 0%, it's still better to have something than to have nothing, right? Your savings account is 6%, 8%. It's still better to have 6 and 8% than to have 0. Your fixed deposits will take you further. It might take you as far as 10%. It's still better than 0 or bonds money. Mutual funds will take you further. It will take you to 20%. You understand? So there's always a better vehicle. As a matter of fact, your piggy bank will take any amount. Your deposit will not take less than 100,000. Your mutual funds will take from 5,000. So you can save, and it can be saved from you, and it can save you, and it can earn interest, good interest, if you find the right vehicle to save it in. Same thing with treasury bills. It might be a little bit higher. So do mutual funds. 5,000 naira you can enroll, and your money will start giving birth to more children already. So the strategic pathway from savings to wealth is save. There is no other way. To have money to invest, you must save it first. The mutual fund just provides an opportunity for you to save small. And so you can easily add to it until it's big enough. When it is big enough, you can now begin to invest in the opportunities you are knowledgeable about. You investigate before you invest. As a matter of fact, it doesn't really make sense to go and invest in a field or an industry that you don't play in. Invest in what you know. And if you realize you do not know, study to know. Be an apprentice in the industry you want to invest in. Understudy the industry you want to invest in. Work with people you work in the industry you want to invest in. Build that knowledge base. You can't gather your sweat and blood and throw it away because you did not investigate. Another thing is maintain liquidity. What do we mean by maintaining liquidity? Keep some. If you have gathered so much over time, you won't throw everything into somewhere now. If you want to invest a portion. Test the waters, even in your industry. Don't be in a hurry to say you are so good at it, you throw all the money you have at it. Don't forget that money follows money. So if you draw your balance to 0, what will happen? Money will start running from you because there's no money there. So no matter what happens, always maintain a base. Even when you are investing and you know it will yield well, maintain a base such that that base will continue to attract more money. And then, of course, The whole purpose of what we have been discussing since morning is think long term. If you think about today, you will eat anyhow. If you are thinking about tomorrow, you will keep some food for tomorrow. So always think long term when you come across money. Of course, we are all encouraged to have affirmations we write every morning that conditions our mind. You know, we have said that poverty and prosperity is a state of mind that conditions your mind to be a prosperous person. These are some of it. I am a master saver. When you tell yourself you save well, you don't unsave. You won't. You will say it so much that you will believe in it and you will leave it. I delay gratification with ease. Money flows to where my mutual fund is. My savings work for me. I am building generational wealth. I'm sure many of us have affirmations that we write in relation to money. I earn more than I can spend. I always have whatever I need. Money is constantly flowing towards me. And the standard one that I have shared with everybody, who can say it offhand? Money comes to me in an increasing quantity from multiple sources on a continual basis. Who knows how it starts? That's not how it starts. It does not start from money comes to me. Aha! I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continual basis. If you have not heard it before, talk to your neighbor who is a member of 110. They will give you that affirmation. I'm so happy and grateful. Don't forget the gratitude, the feeling is inside the affirmation. And it is now. Now that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continual basis. So if your money does not change after some time, you should go back to that affirmation. It's in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continual basis. So give yourself reasons to prosper. This is important because the day you don't feel like saving, you will go back to that list and it will ginger you to work harder at it. So write down 10 reasons why you must become wealthy. You remember the first exercise we did? The things poverty has cost you. If you remember the things poverty has cost you, it will be easy for you to find reasons to be prosperous. Who is depending on your success? You know, some of us are the key to our family breaking free. Some of us are the key to our village ever having somebody that amounted to somebody. So those people depending on your success should be fuel for your success. I'm not saying they are the ones that will make you not succeed because you are giving them all the money you have. I'm saying you would desire to become big enough so you can liberate them from the clutches of poverty. And then when you want to create that feeling that will make you save and keep your savings, always ask yourself, what will change when I become prosperous, as rich as I want to be? What will be different? And then you sit down and visualize that life you desire. Don't forget the feeling is the secret. That is what changes everything. So commit to saving consistently. Write down the amount, write down the vehicle. We already did that in an exercise. Now set how often you save, how long will you save for, where. And identify one expense. Don't leave this room without identifying one thing you can cut immediately that will lead you on the path to frugality. So is it the Coke? Is it the coffee? Is it the tea? Is it the sugar? You know, some of us cannot take gari without the sugar. Try it, or if it is sour gari, Ijebu type, you don't need sugar. So is it the sugar that you will remove from your gari? Or is it the akara you will change from 6 to 4? There is always something you can cut out that will make a difference. Will you walk in the evening or in the morning? Something that you can cut out that will shorten the distance between you and where you want to go. Just find one thing that you can cut. Then choose one bad habit to stop. All of us are work in progress. There will still be something you can remove that will make your life easier and will save you some money. Also, select one prosperity book to read. Me, I've given you 2 today. Pick 2 before you go. And if you can't pick 2 before you go, pick 1. But yourself on how to be prosperous. Savings give you power. It gives you power to say no. You might not understand until somebody tells you to trade your life, or trade your integrity, or trade your future, or become disloyal to somebody you hold dear for money. That's when you realize that if you had money, you would have walked away from that transaction instead of mortgaging your future. So it gives you power of choice. It gives you freedom to do whatever you please. It gives you dignity because you can stand, you can hold your head high. You don't have to look down when anybody is talking to you because you have saved. And you know that no matter what happens, there's a fallback option. And savings is what will help you access the destiny you have created, the goals you have set, the future you want. Savings will equip you to get there. So today, I would encourage you all to start saving, stay disciplined, and never unsave. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Really appreciate you. I want to believe that we've all had enough today. Talk about savings. It's very important we all save because that's when we be safe. So if you have any questions for our speaker, you can put your hands. Let's say, 1,
Okay.
2,
3.
okay, 1 after the other, 3, 4. Thank you.
Morning, sir.
So, I wanted to ask, is there anything that can make us compromise on the savings? Or let's say maybe that can make you suspend your savings? I want an example. They say skill might be better than even savings. You can acquire skill. That okay, maybe you have saved a lot, and maybe use the money to acquire a skill, and maybe it's a good investment. Then I want to talk about this disability. I started using this PE, what do you call it?
Piggy bank.
Yes. My wife, yesterday we give people abroad, they are building houses. So when they come there, so they ask whether we have something to do. They were asking for minerals and water. So my wife started buying those things. So when she traveled, I have a small boy in her house. Started to continue. So I bought this polo. I started putting some money. After when I go out and I have some money, I still put inside. So when I want to start myself, I think by the time I put the polo, I had about 400,000 there.
Wow.
So that's how I started my own savings. So anybody can start anyhow. We have different. You can start your own. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. The primary question, apart from your experience that you shared, is that is there a justifiable reason to suspend savings or to break your savings? Well, I would say that there is no justifiable reason to suspend. Even if you take out of your savings to invest, you must continue saving. Because I already mentioned that the presence of money helps you get money. And if you don't have money, you have lost your defense. You have lost your access to opportunities. However, even when you want to take out of your savings to invest, you can't invest unless you accumulate first. If you want to take out of your savings to invest, you must investigate. The rule is investigate before you invest. Don't throw your money away. Unless you are familiar with it, don't invest. I'm coming back to that. Acquiring a skill. Now, there are different ways of budgeting. If you study budgeting, you would realize that some would say 20, 80. The 20 is the saving part. The 80 that is for spending is where your skill acquisition is, not in the 20 for your financial freedom. So when you divide your 100% into 10 charity, 10 saving, which are the ones that are able to give you the future you want, the 80% that is left is where you take money to acquire a skill. There are times when what you want to pay for is not something you can afford from your 80%. That is why you have a project. There were 3 cards displayed on one of the slides. The project account, the habitual spending account and the habitual saving account. So you pay for your education, skill acquisition from your project account. You save towards the acquisition of your skill separately. It's different from your financial freedom account, from where you do not remove money unless you are giving birth to more money with the one you are taking out. I hope that is clear. Thank you, sir.
Yes, I like savings. Some of us from the habit of saving and saving, saving and saving. Practically, it's like I don't know. Saving every day, I don't know.
When we started, we highlighted the problem of unsaving. The problem of unsaving is born out of indiscipline. It's discipline that we will need to work on. It's the same way some people cannot fast. It's the same way some people cannot fast. They don't know how to fast. It's when they are fasting that they will be baking bread next door. But it is not the person that is baking bread that spoils your fast. It is you that you were unable to smell bread and not eat. So it is not life that is making you break your savings. It's you that you were unable to take your eyes away from the money you have put together. And that's why there was a slide in which we said, get a very strong reason for wanting to save. Get a very strong reason for needing prosperity. If you understand that there are some people in life, that their life has already been crippled because you did not save well at the beginning, then you have a better reason to save. Give yourself all the good reasons. Go through the things that poverty has cost you. And every time you want to touch the money, you remember what it has cost you and you decide to push through. You live life one day at a time. Take it one step at a time. The first time you resist on saving, you will be surprised. But solutions will come to the problem that will not demand your money. As a matter of fact, if you consistently acquire knowledge, your need of money will reduce. Same thing, when you want to start a business, if you have studied so much, you will get to a point where you will not need money to start. Because the knowledge you have would have done more than 80% of the work. So embrace knowledge and then resist one temptation at a time. Celebrate the fact that you did not save today. Tomorrow, resist again. Find another solution that does not require you to take out of your savings. And you'll find out that 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, like we said, it's an art. The more you do, the better you get at doing. However, it is you. It is not what happened. It is not the circumstances of life. You are the one that did not resist the urge to unsave. So work harder at resisting the urge by giving yourself a good reason to keep saving.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mrs. Caxton-Martins. I can say this is the best lecture I've ever heard on saving and investing.
Wow.
Yes, I think we should turn it into a book because I've read all the books by our mentor, I've never read anything as great as this.
Everything I said is from him.
Now, understand that time is a factor in building wealth, and time is, of course, unlimited, but our own time is limited. One of the greatest fears that people have is that timbalo pulo lanko. So they are saving this money and they're like, okay, what if I die tomorrow, I die next year? What will happen to the money? And then when they start thinking like that, they go and spend out of the money to nullify the fear of dying. Despite the fact that they are doing exercise, eating well, we see that nudging reminder. You know, if you die now, and people say it, they will say that when anybody inherits your money, they will spend it more than the way you want to spend it. How do we do without fear? And we talk about vehicle of investment. Second question, we are talking about CDs, high deposit account. What about gold? What about lands? People put their money in gold, they put their money in lands. Can we do that too with our savings if we know things about that? Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. That first question shows that you came a bit late because we mentioned the fears and the fact that it's all in your mind. Everything, the poverty you will get into or the prosperity you will get into all comes from your mind. Now, if you are expecting poverty, if you are expecting disease, if your focus is on death, it will surely come. But for the Christians in our midst, Job said, the thing I feared the most has come upon me. The image you are romancing is the image you will reproduce. If when you are acquiring money, the image you are romancing is the image that it is not you that will spend it, it is not you that will spend it. So it is important to stay positive. It is important to reproduce, to think only of what you want and not what you don't have. And that is why this culture that we have been talking about is important. That's the culture of gratitude. If every time you wake up, you are grateful for seeing another day, don't worry, you will still see one more. So stay grateful for what you have so that it can multiply. Stay grateful for the years you've lived so that you will live more years. But if every time it is what is wrong that you keep looking at, you will continue to attract what is wrong. So the people that live in fear of death are attracting death by default. So we cannot say from the perspective of we will not be the one to spend it because life is about to end. In 110 academy, if you live less than 120 years, then you are not doing what we have told you to do. You are not practicing gratitude. You are not doing this visualization the way you should. What is your expectation? You will get it. So monitor and manage your expectations is extremely important. That you only live once. If you are living 120 years, you know the way you are living is not going to be the same way the person that is living 60 will live. Because you need this money to be comfortable. You don't want to be calling your children at 100. You don't want to be struggling in a house that does not have a lift. So you are preparing for an affluent future. The way you live now is different. But the person who thinks that maybe it's just 10 years that I have to go will begin to squander. But if you know that at 50, you still have 70, the longer part of your life is still ahead of you, your attitude to life will be different. So please, let's embrace the right expectations. Now, thank you. Now, talking about investments, the rule is the rule. It's still the same rule. Investigate before you invest. There is land that became 12 times in 2 years. There is land that is only 100,000 naira difference in 2 years. It depends on where. And then these people that sweet talk you to collect your money for land. They will tell you to go and buy it in the bush. I have one land on the express. In 15 years' time, they will build another redemption camp and your land value will increase. And you are waiting. 15 years' time, it has not increased. And you are beginning to remember that mutual funds at 20%, in 5 years, you would have gotten your money back. But 15 years now, you are not even match the 20% of 1 year. So investigate before you invest. Gold bars is a good way of investing, but if you don't know how to go about it, some people will first of all take the money of your ignorance from you. I think some people call it owomogo. They first collect the money of your ignorance from you. So it is important that you have a base knowledge before you put your money in anything. So take your time. Don't be in a hurry to scatter the money you have gathered, especially when you realize the pains with which you gather it. You'll be more careful in spending it. Thank you.